Welcome to the Explainer. So if you've spent, any time at all on social media recently, your feed has probably been absolutely flooded with people shouting about this massive explosion of AI side hustles. You're constantly being told that artificial intelligence is this golden ticket to quitting your day job, building a fully automated empire, and doing it all while you literally sleep. But with so much noise out there, how do we actually separate the genuine opportunities from the digital snake oil? Well, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to completely demystify this booming industry by looking at the hard data, the real earnings, and honestly, the dark underbelly of AI scams that are wiping out millions of dollars. Earn tens of thousands of dollars in days? No way, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen ads with wild, flashy promises exactly like this one. In fact, this specific quote comes from a company called Air AI, who claimed their AI could just fully replace human salespeople and generate instant wealth for you. We're going to use this as our jumping off point today because it perfectly captures that wild hype, but, what happens when we peel back the marketing layer and look at the actual numbers. Section 1. The AI Gold Rush. Let's start with a little reality check. We need to examine the massive and, frankly, kind of startling gap between internet marketing hype and actual statistical data. You've got tools like Smartly Q claiming you can run your entire content strategy on complete autopilot, right? And YouTube gurus confidently touting how to make $300 a day with speedrun AI website templates. But when Hostinger actually compiled data on real-world side hustles in 2026, they found the median monthly income is just $200, and it is definitely not set and forget. It takes an average of 8 hours of active work every single week. So the really crucial takeaway here is that there's this massive 50x gap between what you're being sold and what the average person is actually bringing home. Section 2. Real passive income takes work. Now, look, this absolutely doesn't mean AI side hustles are completely fake. Legitimate passive income does exist. But let's look at a fascinating example straight from a creator actively doing this on Reddit just to see the genuine upfront effort required. They use 11 Labs voice marketplace, where you can literally earn passive income by cloning your own voice. Sounds amazing, right? But check out the kind of grindy reality of the actual steps involved. First, you have to sit in a quiet room and record 2 to 3 hours of incredibly clean, varied speech. Then, 11 Labs builds your model. But you can't just be a generic male voice. You have to aggressively fight other creators for highly coveted tags like meditation or education just to get any visibility. And the payout? The default rate is about 3 cents per 1,000 characters generated. To put that in perspective, it takes a full 90-minute audiobook just to even move the needle. As this creator honestly noted, your first month usually yields almost absolutely nothing. So what should we actually expect to earn if we do put in the work? Let's look at some realistic numbers. For that voice cloning hustle, once you're really well established, community reports put it at around $250 to $320 a month. If you're vibe coding microweb apps, like a focus timer or a little tip calculator, expect around $50 a month initially from ad revenue. And if you're using AI to generate puzzle or activity books for Amazon KDP, a realistic figure is around $500 a month. The point is, true success in these areas yields slow growth, median returns. It is definitely not an immediate, overnight path to riches. Section 3. Teaching AI your job. Okay, we're shifting gears here from passive income to a completely different kind of AI hustle. This is the high-paying but highly demanding reality of actively training AI models with your own professional expertise. And what's really staggering here is the sheer scale of the money involved. Look at it this way. AI labs have basically already read the entire internet. Now they desperately need real human experts. We're talking doctors, lawyers, investment bankers to check the AI's homework. And they are paying top dollar for it. A generalist reviewing search results makes about $50 an hour. Companies like Mercor average around $105 an hour, while Surge AI is actually offered management consultants upward of $300 an hour. The scale is just massive. Mercor's network of contractors gets paid out upwards of $4 million every single day. But let's humanize this data for a second with a quote from Amanda Brown. She's a university professor who took a gig grading an AI model's biology answers. She says, "It seems like easy money. It really isn't." These roles often involve these grueling 3-day deadline sprints where contractors are literally sleeping on couches. You're frequently paid flat rates for tasks that take way longer than they budgeted for, and sometimes you only get paid if a micromanaging supervisor actually approves your work. Plus, there's a pretty dark underlying reality here. Once you teach the AI how to do your specialized task perfectly, well, the projects dry up. You are quite literally training your own replacement, which gives this high paycheck a very definitive shelf life. Section 4. Beware the AI-wrapped scams. And this brings us to the most critical pivot today. While the hustles we just discussed require hard work, there's a dark, multi-million-dollar reality of sophisticated frauds actively targeting everyday consumers who just want a piece of the AI boom. Look at this massive figure, $74 million. That is the sheer scale of consumer losses wiped out just in the cases targeted by the FTC's recent Operation AI Comply crackdown. And remember, that only covers what falls under U.S. jurisdiction. These aren't just minor misunderstandings. These are premeditated, highly engineered scams designed to absolutely drain your bank account. The FTC documentation reveals that these frauds all follow an exact identical formula. It goes exactly like this: high upfront fees, plus promises of AI automation, plus ongoing management fees extracted from your revenue. If you see this equation, it is a scam, period. Take a company called Finacnce Income, for example. They charged victims up to $40,000 in setup fees, promising AI would run their Amazon store. Almost no one hit the promised numbers. And when victims complained, the company actually issued death threats because, nothing says legitimate automated tech startup quite like a casual death threat over customer service. Or look at ClickProfit, where a full 1 in 5 customers earned absolute zero.
So let's walk through a crucial litmus test together so you know exactly how to protect yourself. We have to clearly contrast legitimate AI-powered work against high-risk AI-wrapped scams. For a legitimate hustle, your upfront investment is maybe $0 to $500 for tools subscriptions. For a scam, it's $5,000 to $40,000 just for a system fee. Legitimate work requires you to actually learn transferable skills. Scams, on the other hand, promise no experience necessary. And the exit mechanism is key here. With a real hustle, you stop paying for your AI tool anytime, and you keep your skills. In a scam, if you decide to quit, you lose your entire massive upfront investment.
Section 5. The Scam Survival Guide.
So how do we actually navigate this minefield? Let's empower you with some actionable, practical takeaways. We're going to start with 5 specific warning phrases you absolutely need to watch out for. If you hear fully automated passive income, run. If they use pressure tactics like act now or lose out, walk away. Real opportunities will still be there tomorrow, I promise. If they promise a 100% money-back guarantee, check the fine print, because it usually requires jumping through impossible hoops. If they claim their AI has 98% accuracy, demand a third-party test. But the ultimate red flag, and this is specifically documented in Asian markets where fake investment scams cause hundreds of millions in losses, is the phrase, move to private chat. If someone on a public platform like Facebook invites you to a private line group or WhatsApp chat to discuss an AI business, stop immediately. Legitimate businesses can withstand public scrutiny. Finally, I want to guide you through a highly repeatable 10-minute due diligence checklist. Please do this every single time you see an AI opportunity. Step 1. The Google search test. Search the company name alongside words like scam or complaint. Step 2. Check the FTC's Cases and Proceedings database to see if they're actively under investigation. Step 3. Find and contact current customers independently on Reddit or Trustpilot. Never, ever just use the handpicked references the company gives you. Step 4. Demand a live demo. No screenshots, no recorded videos. If you have to pay just to see the AI system work, it is a trap. And Step 5. Read the refund terms word for word to ensure they are completely unconditional. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with an ultimate provocative question to use as your mental framework for navigating this massive AI boom. Ask yourself this: is AI a tool you use or a business you're investing in? Because if it's a tool you use to amplify your own skills, like coding an app or generating a puzzle book, you're in control. But if it's a business system you're paying tens of thousands of dollars to invest in just because you think the AI will magically do all the work for you, well, you aren't the business owner, you're the product. Stay smart, use the tools, put in the actual work, and please don't let the hype drain your wallet.